Hello everyone and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today I want to do something special. At the start of the month, I usually set progression goals for myself, whether it's making some sort of upgrade or getting certain items. I thought this would be a cool video to do and help motivate you guys as well. So as we all know, gear progression in this game is a very big thing, and some people are either very motivated or sometimes you kind of get burnt out of, Black Desert because you're kind of lost and everything. So what I wanted to do was make a progression goal for September and talk about it, and then at the end of the month we'll see if I actually made it. And one thing I've talked about in videos years ago was how to keep yourself motivated in this game without burning out, and that is really just setting small goals for yourself and something you can work for every day, once a week or something. So anyway, with that said, hopefully this is kind of like motivation for you guys as well to set your own goals and everything. But I guess for September, for myself, there are a few things I do want to progress on and acquire in the game. So one of those things obviously would be an Oct offhand. That one is really just RNG. You grind it out, but that one's kind of like, if it happens, it happens. I'm at 10 out of 75. But I wanted to talk about more realistic goals that I could work on the side. As we all know, with Adonia being new, getting all 4 armor pieces is, just weekly gated and upgrading those. So that's going to happen. Well, I guess every week we get a new piece. And so we have 2 more to go. That's a weekly thing. And I'll make videos of that one so you guys can see how it's done before you guys actually do it yourself if you're not at that point. So yeah, one of my goals, get all the Adonia gear. And obviously, because it is weekly gated, ideally not fail any of the enhances. But until we get to the later stages, it is what it is. So anyway, some more realistic things coming out in September. I heard we're gonna get the whole Cronstone alchemy stone thing, so if that comes out in September, probably one of the goals. But some more realistic things I wanted to talk about was, one thing I have been spending a lot of my silver on is getting all new crystals. And right now we have 6 of the new Jin Dawn crystals. These are 7.5 billion each. It's not that it's hard to get, it's just kind of expensive to get. So yeah, that's like 45 billion silver in 6 green marbles right here. And that was where a lot of silver I sunk into went. And also getting another 15 of the new Crystal of Breathing Verdure. And basically back in the day, well, I guess you could still use it now, obviously, we had either the Life Crystal route and the Mastery Crystal route. So what I wanted to do, obviously, was get the new Best in Slot ones, which are these. It's more Mastery, like 5 more Mastery than the current one, and 2 more Life XP from the other crystal, and they combine it all together. So for all of you life skillers out there, I think we did a calculation in my crystal video where obviously these are 45 billion silver for the Jins at max price of 7.5 billion each. And I would value these crystals of Breathing Verdure at probably around 3 billion each. To give you an idea, what I have been doing to prepare for that is you need the Rusalka's corals. It's not going great. Hold on. Rusalka's corals. If you are trying to buy them yourself, good luck getting it. So chances are you're going to have to farm these yourself. I've been doing that slowly, and yeah, that's just kind of what it is. But the hard part is going to be getting the sharps, the magical shards, and magical lightstone crystals. That is where a huge chunk of the silver cost comes in. And so I would value these, like, at the current price for 100 sharps is like 600 something, maybe 700 million silver for 100. Magical shards are another 600 million for that one. And then the light stones are, I guess, like, very dependent on the market. So yeah, Rusalka corals, chances are you are not getting these off the market at least this month. So you're gonna have to gather them yourself, which is what I have been doing slowly but surely. The drop rate of them is kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. That's why they're expensive, but you know, you only need about 1,600 total. So things I've been doing throughout, well, I guess since Adonia came out, I've been grinding, you know, to various spots to upgrade my crystals and everything. So this month for me, my gear progression is not so much like gear itself. Obviously, if I can get an Oct, that would be really nice, mostly for the glow and the 1 extra DP. But for endgame players, our upgrades are like, you know, going from the Jin crystal to the Han. That one is kind of stupidly expensive for 3 AP. Like, obviously, more is better, but this is kind of expensive. And so you need the 100 crystals of end time, which you get from the grind spots. And the drop rate of them is kind of stupidly low. And then, obviously, the magical shards and the lightstone crystals, you need those for the life crystals and everything. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be needing. Basically, everything I need is grinding Adonia, grinding these things. I wish these Jin crystals were able to be sold on the market. I hope in the future they let you sell them on the market, simply because people like me, I'm just starting to collect extras right now after getting my Jin crystal. And so I hope that, like, I could sell my extra pieces to newer players so they can get into Adonia easier, right? Like, that makes sense. Like, they get into it easier, they could grind the spots, I get silver, everyone wins, right? So, yeah, my goals, aside from that, are, I believe, mid-September, we're going to be able to upgrade our artifacts, like the Kabuas, to, like, the upgraded version with more HP, AP, or something like that. So I think that's going to be good, but until then, it is also upgrading our light stones and everything. So this one, you can see I have, like, the amplified stone. All these are endgame stuff, but yeah, that's one of my goals. I will probably talk about this at the end of the month, where it's like, what did I make in terms of progression? And I think number one, highest priority, is converting all of these vital crystals into the breathing verdure ones. Chances are you are not, like, you could buy them, but it's been out for a while. No one's gonna sell them for 1.5 because the craft cost itself is, like, I am pretty sure the craft cost alone is probably 3.5 billion silver. So this might go into market in the future, but I highly doubt it. I just feel like they made this really low to the point where everyone's going to be making them themselves and then keeping it. But anyway, life crystals for all of you guys, whether this is on the NA server, I'm pretty sure on EU there's a lot more. You could just buy them now, but that doesn't mean they're cheap, even though I actually got kind of lucky. When it first came out, I put an order on it. I got one for about like 4.5 billion and another one for 5. But either way, it's worth the price. Like, even if you're a new player, getting a wand is better than not having it. So 4% times 6 different crystals, that's 24% extra XP, always worth it. Then you move up to Jins at the end of the day, like, eventually. So yeah, at the end of the month, what I'm gonna look at once again is how many of these crystals did I fill out. I hope it's going to be all of them, because I think at like 3 or 4 billion silver times 15 more, that's like 60-ish billion silver on the higher end side of things. And yeah, hopefully all of these are filled out, and that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to convert all of these Jin crystals to Han. This one's just kind of a grind sink, to be honest. Like, I just need a lot of magical shards and magical light stones and everything else. So that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be the amplified light stones, because they're slightly better. And I believe mid-September, we are getting the new grind spot, which is the new castle around here, I believe, or somewhere around here. But yeah, we're getting a new grind spot and then a new weekly boss. So I think it's around here. So yeah, that's one of those things. And that's going to come out with new items. So for all of you guys, what are your goals for September? What are you planning on doing? If you are interested in preparing for Adonia, let's say you're almost close to it, or, you know, you're just trying to collect the fragments to get your Adonia armor, what I would recommend is checking out the video that I made before talking about various things on how you guys can prepare for that as well. And just like entry level stuff you can do to get in here, do the bosses weekly. Even if you don't have like your Tet armors, you should be able to still do the Etherean boss, and I would recommend doing it because it's weekly gated. So if you have enough gear to be able to like do the first grind spot, I would recommend doing the boss, because you're gonna get materials and you want to start collecting them like right now because it's just weekly locked. So I think that's a dumb mechanic. I wish instead of time gating gear, what I wish they would do is like effort gate them. So like, if you want to grind 10 hours a day every day, yeah, you'll have an advantage over other people, but that is the thing. I wish you was sellable as well. That way people who fish 24/7 and still want to be geared, they can do that too. But anyway, it's fine for me. Like, ultimately my goals, aside from Oct Sovereign, is going for all the Adonia armors, which I will be doing. That's like, I have very little failure rate of the bosses. You can watch the videos I did of the first two. And then this big crystal upgrades is my highest priority. Like, believe it or not, I do other things besides grinding. Some other goals that I have, I'm not sure if I can get Guru 38 throughout this month. Like with the, like, I don't gather for XP, I gather for materials and silver. So that's a little bit different. That's also why I want to get the life XP. It just makes things go faster. Some other things, I kind of want to do hunting again a little bit. And I've been doing it a little bit on my own time, but it's not like a frequent thing. And whenever Blue Battlefield comes out, which is the basically ocean boat PvP, like Red Battlefield, but for in the ocean with boats, I definitely want to try that. I had a Valor, gotten that for years, and now it's the time to actually use it. So I think that's one of those things that I think is going to be cool happening in the month. And of course, whenever anything else happens, like new news, new grind spots, we'll be testing those as usual. But ultimately, those are my goals for September. Make as much silver as I can, like get gear upgrades, crystal upgrades. This is mostly going to be a lot. Oh, and by the way, if you are curious to know about all the crystals that I use, check the video. I'll leave a link in the description. I talk about all of the crystals that I use, what should you use, beginner friendly all the way to end game. It's kind of a long video, but I go into detail on why I use it, so that's why I'm explaining everything. And so if you're curious to know, it's updated, and that's about it. So with that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, drop in the comments, or you can join the Discord, and I'm happy to point you guys in the right direction. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.